Hello, today I'm going to show you how to use StatCrunch to come up with a regression line and how to predict a value. So in this particular example, we're looking at trying to see if there's some type of correlation between temperature and the number of emergency calls made. So I listed the temperatures as my X values and I listed the number of calls as my Y values. So we're going to figure out a regression line and then we're going to predict the number of calls when the temperature is 80 degrees. So the reason why I'm looking at a correlation between these two variables is maybe when it's really, really hot outside, you get more calls to the emergency room because maybe you have people are passing out from the heat, etc. Maybe when it's really cold out, um, people are getting into more accidents. Maybe there's a lot of snow, and so you have a lot of calls to the emergency room because of that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into StatCrunch. And I need to make this bigger so you guys can see. I'll move it over here. There we go. All right, so I listed my temperatures and I listed the number of calls. You can change these variables up here because they say var1, var2, var whatever, and you can just go ahead and change the names because it makes it easier when the output comes um, in StatCrunch. All right, so I'm going to go to stat and then I'm going to go to regression and then I'm going to go to simple linear. Move this over, and my X values will be the temperature and the number of calls will be my Y variable. And I'm going to ignore the rest of this stuff except we're going to get down to the bottom where it says prediction of Y. I'm going to plug in 80 for my X value because I wanted to predict the number of calls when the temperature is 80 degrees. So now I'm going to hit compute and let me bring this over so you guys can see. And I'm going to highlight this. This is your regression equation. So the number of calls is equal to negative 7.54 plus 0.189 times temperature. You don't see a multiplication sign in there, but that means multiplication when they're next to each other. And if we scroll down, the predicted value, we have the temperature at 80 and the predicted Y value, which is the number of calls, is 7.6. You can just round that up to 8. So when the temperature is 80 degrees, you can predict that there'll be about 8 calls to the emergency or to like 911. And to verify that, what you can do is you can plug 80 back into this regression equation up here. You plug 80 back in for temperature. So you're going to take 80 times 0.189, 76644. You're going to get an answer, and then you're going to add it with the negative 7.544. And that should also give you the 7.63. So that's how they got that answer. All right, I hope this helps.